So we are currently discussing business tools topic, guys. Business tools runs once record created, updated, deleted, or queried. Okay. Business tools runs when record created, updated, read, deleted. Business tool, obviously, it is a server-side script. Business tool is a server-side script, guys. Okay. In the business rules, you can only write a server-side API such as glide record secure, glide aggregate, glide datetime, glide schedule, glide duration. All server-side APIs, you can use it in the business rules. You can't use client-side APIs such as glide user, glide form, glide ajax, glide model form, glide dialog window, glide list. You can't use all the client-side APIs in the business tool because business tool is a server-side script. Can we use server-side APIs in the UI actions? Your mouth should speak out, man. You should not stand up. No. So, guys, answer me. Can we use server-side APIs in the UI actions? Hmm? Yes. Now you come to the reality. UI actions work on both client side and server side, right? In the server side UI actions, you can write server side APIs. In the client side UI actions, you can write client side APIs. Where were you, Rajesh? Okay. So business tool run on server side, guys. Business tools runs when record created, updated, queried, or deleted. There are actually 4 types of business tools: before, after, sync, and display. So normally, guys, in the interviews, they'll ask you what are business rules, something like that. Normally, what we remember, there are 4 types of business rules: before, after, async, and display. You don't answer what is business rule. There is a format that you should follow answering the question. Business rule is a server-side script. That is the first thing. Business rules run when record created, updated, queried, or deleted. You have to answer that second point. Third point, there are actually 4 types of business rules: before business rule, after business rule, async business rule, and display business rule. So you will tell till this point. So legends will go beyond. So they will explain about each business rule run at what time. Before business rule will work from all the sources. In the before business rule, you can actually use scripting. It will work from all other sources. You can actually stop the data processing using before business rule from all other sources like data policies. Like data policies, you can stop the data processing into database using before business rule. Okay. Data policies work from all other sources, right? But data policy will work only for mandatory read only. You can't write scripting in the data policy. Well, whereas before business rule, you can write a script option. It will work from all other sources. So before the data policies, this before business rules will run first. అర్థమైందా రాజా? Okay, on submit client script work only from the form. UI policies work only on the form. Client scripts work only on the form. If the logic that you write should work from all other sources, then you will go for before business rule. It will work from all other sources. Data can come from various sources, right? Not only from the form. In the beginning, we thought that only form is used to create the records on the table. And later we learned that data can come into the ServiceNow tables from various sources. The moment when you realize that data will come from different sources into ServiceNow tables, that is where you are succeeded. That is the step to become a successful ServiceNow developer. So when you realize that data will come into ServiceNow from different sources, you can easily identify when a record is created, from which source this record is getting created, and all. First you will start analyzing. First you will understand, is this created from the form or not? Is this created from the import set or not? Is this created from the script or not? Is this created from the email or not? Is this created from the record producer or not? We can check it. Okay. Before business rule run, after form submission, after data submission, before the data gets stored into the database, before business rules will run. We have already discussed about this before business rule. In today's session, we are going to discuss about after business rule and async business rule, guys. These two we are going to discuss in today's session. Why did I mention after business rule, async business rule will run only when the data successfully gets stored into the database? After business rule will run only when the data gets successfully stored into the database. The after business rule and async business rule will run. Let me just take you to the whiteboard. Okay. You can see this is actually data. This data you are actually entering in the form. After form submission, first before business rules are running, and data is getting stored into the database. Once the data gets successfully stored into the database, then after business rules and async business rules will run. I'll show you. Let me just open the finance case form. Now I have opened the finance case form. Okay. Now you have to answer me, guys. I'm filling this value. Okay. Now I am creating the record. As there is no attachment, it will not allow you to create the record, because we have written a before business rule. Before business rule is checking if there is an attachment or not. If there is no attachment, it will not allow you to process the data into database. It has not allowed. The record is not created in the database. Data is not actually entered in the database. Then after business rule, async business rule won't run now. Now I am actually attaching an attachment. Okay. Now I attached an attachment, right? Now I am trying to submit this one. Now data will be stored into the database now. As now the data is stored into the database, now after business rule and async business rule will run. What has happened? You submitted the form before business rule has checked it, the attachment is there or not. As the attachment is not there, it has stopped the data processing here. Now data is not stored here in the first case. Second case, we attached the attachment here and we submitted the form before business rule has run. It has checked if the attachment is there or not. As the attachment is there, it has allowed you to store the data into database. As now the data is stored into the database, after business rule and async business rule both are running. Both are running. Once data successfully stored into the database, after business rule and async business rule will run, guys. Okay. So you understand, right, when exactly these run and all? Okay. Now when it comes to the after business rule, async business rule, do you remember synchronous call and asynchronous calls? After business rule is a synchronous call. What exactly synchronous calls does? What exactly asynchronous calls does? Synchronous calls will wait. Asynchronous calls will not wait. Synchronous calls will wait. Asynchronous calls will not wait. So here after business rule is a synchronous business rule and asynchronous business rule is a synchronous business rule. Okay. So guys, remember Do you understand you all know the CRUD operations, right? CRUD operations means creating the record, updating the record, deleting the record, and reading the record. Okay. So you have to understand it carefully. Whichever the record that you are working on. Now currently I am working on this particular record, right? I am working on this particular 1039 record, right? To update the same record, okay, to stop the record processing into database, same record processing into database, then only you should use before business rules. Okay. When you have to create a record on another table, this is current record, guys. Current record means 1039. To update the same record, to stop the data processing into database of this particular record, we should use before business rules. To create the record on another table, to update the record on another table, to delete the record on another table, we should always use after business rule or async business rule. So only for current record, you should use before business rule. Understand? Only for current record, whatever the record that you are working on, let us say 1039. So next you will open the new form 10310, 1310. So this is actually your current record. When you are working on this particular record, before business rules will work properly. It will not allow you to process the data because attachment is mandatory. So to work on the same record, before business rules are very much important. We should use before business rules. Okay. To create the record on another table, to update the record on another table, to delete the record on another table, we should always use after business rule or async business rule. Now I will give you one example here. Whenever the finance case is created, I should create a problem record in the problem table. I should create a problem record in the problem table with the finance case details. Okay, this is actually creating the record on the problem table, right? Creating the record on the problem table. So whenever the finance case is created, it has to create a record on the problem table. Now what I am doing is I am going to create a after business rule. Okay, create problem. Advanced. After business rule I am using. After insert or update. I am using after insert, okay? So how do we create the record? You can use glide record to create the record on the problem table, right? Gr dot insert will actually create the record. Okay. So I am using current dot u underscore item. Okay, it will actually create the record with the finance case configuration item, finance case short description, finance case description, finance case assignment group. Okay, it will create the record. Table will be problem. This is after business rule, guys. After business rule. Okay. Here I am creating a record on the problem table. So finance case configuration item should go to problem configuration item. Finance case short description should go to problem short description. Using current object, I can pass those values. So here I am creating a after business rule, guys. Now I have a question for you. I have a question for you. Now I am trying to submit this form. As there is no attachment, it will not allow you to create the record. So what is it telling? Attachment is mandatory, record is not created. If the record is not created, do you think after business rules will run? As the record is not created, after business rules won't run. Only once the record is created into the database, the after business rule will run. Okay. So I am attaching an attachment. Now it will allow you to create the record into the database. Now it will allow you to create the record into the database now. Once the record is created into the database, okay, once the record is created into the database, then problem record will be created. We will see if there is any problem record that is created or not. You can see just now a problem record is created. This problem record is created once the finance case record is created. See, this is the finance case form. You submitted it before business rule has run. It has checked attachment is there or not. As the attachment is not there, for the first time it stopped the data processing here. Then data is not actually stored here. Then after business rule has not run. Second time, we filled the field values, we attached the attachment, we submitted the form. Before business rule has checked attachment is added or not. So it understands that it has added. So as the attachment is added, now the data is getting stored here. Once the data gets stored into the database, after business rule has run. Okay. Fine. So guys, it has actually created a problem record, right? That problem number I have to update into this problem field. There's a problem field here, right? Problem number I have to populate here. Okay. For that, I have to store the problem var PRB ID is equal to, I'm storing the problem system ID in this particular JavaScript variable. Okay. Current dot. Current means finance case. Problem is equal to PRB ID. Current dot update. Current dot update means it will create the record and the created problem number you are updating in the current form. So guys, remember you are creating the record, right? Finance case record, right? Before business rule will run, it will check the attachment is added or not. If the attachment is added, it will store the data into database. And once the data is stored into the database, after business rule will run, it will create a problem record. So once the problem record is created, that you are taking the problem system ID. The problem system ID you are actually updating in the finance case again. You created, right? Same created finance case record you are updating using scripting. Current dot update means you are updating that record using scripting this with this created problem number. So before updating, you need to make sure the other scripts are not running using current dot set workflow false. Okay. Now I am going to create one more record here. Finance case record. Just save this one. The data will be stored into the database first. Once the data is stored into the database, after business tool will run, it will create the record. The problem number is updated here. Clear, right? Okay. But there is a problem with the after business tool, guys. After business tool is a synchronous, right? There will be a problem with the synchronous business tools. What is that problem? I'll show you. If you have a lot of script in the business tool, let us say you have 1,000 lines or you have 2,000 lines of script here. Let us imagine. After business tool will wait for those 2,000 lines of script to get executed. Only then the farm control is given back to you. Getting my point? If there is a 2,000 lines of script here, the after business tool will wait for those 2,000 lines of script to get executed. Only then the farm control is given back to you. I'll show you. I'm removing this line. I'm using for loop. Thousand into 10 lines. 10,000 lines of script is there here. Okay. Now you can see farm will wait lot of time here. Okay. Now you can see the farm will be freezed. Now the farm is freezed here. Did you notice that? The farm is freezed. That is because after business tool is waiting till total lines of script get completed. So once the total lines of script got executed, then farm control is given back to you. But you as a ServiceNow developer, no. After business tool is a async business tool. After business tool is a synchronous business tool. It will wait for the script execution in the backend. That is why it is taking some time. You understand, but employees don't understand. Employees see that this is an issue. They will be keep coming to you. Okay. Now the script execution is completed and farm control is given back to you now. Now the farm control is with you. What has happened when you created the record is created into the database. Once record is created into the database, after business rule has run. In the after business rule, you have 10,000 lines of script is there. So the after business rule will wait till the 10,000 lines of script get completed. till the time farm will be freezed. Once the 10,000 lines of script is executed, the farm control will be given back to you. Okay. If you see in the problem table, 1,000 records would have been created. You can see 1,077 records are there now. Okay. So here, in that case, after business rule is a synchronous, right? We will use asynchronous business rule. Even synchronous business rule also run only when the data gets stored into the database. See, after business rule is a synchronous business rule, asynchronous is an asynchronous business rule. Asynchronous will not wait for the 10,000 lines of script to get executed. Asynchronous business rule will not wait. Form will not be freezed. The script will be running in the background. Okay, I converted this into asynchronous business rule, right? Okay, I am going to create a new record now. Okay, I am attaching an attachment now. I am creating the record. So the farm control will be given back to you immediately. Now the farm control has given back to you immediately, right? But the script is running in the backend. You can see it is still creating the records in the backend. So 1,222, 1,345, 354, 1,462. The records are creating in the backend or not? The script is executed in the backend or not? But the farm control is not. The farm control is given back to the user immediately, right? So it is good practice to use asynchronous business rule, because after business rule is a synchronous business rule. It will wait for the script execution. It will wait for the script execution. Once the script execution is completed, the farm control will be given back to you if you use after business rule. If you use asynchronous business rule, the farm control will not be the farm will not be freezed. The farm control will be given back to the user immediately. Okay. Farm control will be given to the user immediately. Got it, right? Okay. Fine. So it is good practice to use asynchronous business rule. Guys, there is a problem with the asynchronous business rule again. In the asynchronous business rule, you don't have previous object, previous values you can't access in the asynchronous business rule. You can see null when async. Null when async. So in the asynchronous business rule, previous object is not available. Then what should we do? If you use after business rule, the form will be freezed. If you use asynchronous business rule, previous values are not available. Okay, I'll tell you. We all know the problem life cycle, right? So in the problem, you can attach multiple incidents. We can attach multiple incidents. We have attached 50 incidents, guys. Okay. We'll attach few more incidents. Okay. Total 100 incidents we have attached here. Okay. So whenever the state is changed, okay, both current state and previous state, both. Remember, whenever I change the state here to SS2 root cause analysis, SS2 root cause analysis, both current value, current state value, previous state value, okay, should be updated in the all incident work notes. So incident has work notes fields, right? In the incident work notes field, problem state is changed from SS to root cause analysis. Previous state and current state value, both values. So here you have 100 incidents, guys. See, whenever you change the state in the database, so that means once the state is changed in the database, after business rule will run. So using after business rule, I have to populate current state value and previous state value in these 100 incidents. Additional comments are work notes field. Here there are 100 incidents, right? 100 incidents means it will take some time, right? After business rule will wait, form will be freezed. If you use asynchronous business rule, there is no previous value available. There is no previous object available. So here we have two challenges. If you use after business rule, the form will be freezed because we have 100 incidents, additional comments we have to update. If you use after business rule, you have current object available, previous object available, both are available, but the form will be freezed. Second thing, if you use asynchronous business rule, the form will not be freezed, but you don't have previous values access. Then what should we do? So I already wrote a logic, guys. That is where you have to use a script action concept. Right click, configure, go to business rules. Okay, when state changes. Here I have used after business rule only. In the after business rule, I have written script action to run the script asynchronously from the after business rule. You can see this line is used to run the script action. See, here we have two challenges, guys. We have two challenges. What are those challenges? I have to update 100 incidents because this problem has 100 incidents associated, right? Update the 100 incidents, it will take some time or not? To update these 100 incidents, it will take some time, right? Whenever the state is changed, state is changed into the database, both current state value, previous state value should be updated in the 100 incidents additional comments. If you use after business rule, definitely there will be a form freeze because we have 100 incidents, right? There will be a form freeze. If you use asynchronous business rule, form freeze won't be there. But here you can't update previous state value. You have to you don't have previous state value. So both business rules have disadvantages. After business rule will run synchronously, it will cause form freeze. Asynchronous business rule has previous object not available. So that is where script action concept will come into picture. To understand the script action concept, you need to have an understanding on events concept. Okay. Let us not go into script actions too much. Let us come back to after business rule and async business rule. After business rule and async business rule are run only once the data gets stored into the database. Only once the data gets stored into the database, the after business rule and async business rule will run. After business rule run synchronously, asynchronous business rule run asynchronously. So after business rule will cause performance issue, will cause form freeze if it has a lot of script. Okay, asynchronous business rule will not cause performance issue. It will not freeze the form because asynchronous business rule run in the backend. So the problem here is asynchronous business rule doesn't have previous object access. So after business rule has current object, previous object, both access, but it causes performance issue. Async business rule doesn't have performance issue and it has only current object. It doesn't have previous object. So after business rule has disadvantage and asynchronous business rule has disadvantage. So that is where another concept that will come into picture, that is actually script action concept. Script action concept. When the script action concept has come into the picture, okay, so we will use in this case to this requirement we use after business rule. You can see I choose after business rule because why did I choose after business rule? In the after business rule, I have current object and previous object both available. I can access current state value, previous state value both. Okay. So that is why I chose after business rule. I chose after business rule. And through the script action, I will actually run the script asynchronously. Through the script action, I will run the script asynchronously. Getting my point? That script action concept I'll explain in coming days, guys. Hmm? Clear, right? Do you understand the difference between after business rule and async business rule? Okay. We'll create one more after business rule, guys. Okay. So here this will create one finance case, guys. You created the record. Once you create the record, it will actually create a problem record that has to be updated here. Okay. We converted into async business rule, right? Okay, problem is created, right? The problem number is updated here. As soon as I change the short description here, immediately the associated problem short description should be changed. For that, I am creating a after business rule. Or you can also write asynchronous business rule as well. Because you don't have to access previous values, right? So asynchronous business rules are not recommended if you don't have to use previous values. If you don't have to use previous values, asynchronous business rule is a good practice. Advanced, I am using synchronous business rule, update, condition short description changes. Okay. Whenever you change the short description, immediately that short description update will be updated in the associated problem table. So I am writing a glide record on the problem table. Okay. I am querying the problem record with the system ID and dot problem, guys. Okay, you are querying the problem table with the current problem. You are updating the short description. Okay. And if you want to make sure on the problem table there is no script running, you have to use gr dot set workflow false. Okay. I'm using synchronous business rule, guys. Because I don't have to use previous values here, right? Okay. Now you can see here, changed the short description to 4567 Uday. 4567 Uday. Okay. Same should be updated the problem short description also. So here I have used asynchronous business rule, right? Open this record and see, change it to, it hasn't changed. It will be short description, not u underscore short description. In the problem table, short description file name is short description only, not u underscore short description. Change the short description, right? The associated problem short description also value You understand, right? So whenever the short description changes, in the database, the async business rule will run. The async business rule will run, and it will actually query the problem table with the current problem. Current problem means current.u_problem. This one, this problem. And it will update that particular record short description. Got it right? So here we are using glide record to update the record. For update operation, here we are using glide record. If you see here, for creating the record, we are using glide record here. We are using glide record here to create operation, to do the create operation on the problem table. Here we are using glide record to do the update operation on the problem table. You understand, right? So when the finance case is created, it has to create a problem record in the problem table. Whenever you change the short description in the finance case, the associated problem has short description, right? When you change the short description in the finance case, same short description should be changed in the problem short description as well. So here for that I have used, for one I have used after business rule. For this one I have used after business rule, right? Because we don't have much scripting here. Only 10 lines or 15 line script is there. We don't have any problem if you use after business rule for 10 lines. Here also it is good practice to use sync. Okay. So when do you use after business rule means when you have to use both current value and previous value both, you have to use after business rule. When you want only current object, you can directly go for asynchronous business rule. When you want both current and previous values both, then you have to go for after business rule with a script action concept. That script action concept we'll be discussing in coming sessions. Hope you have got an idea about business rule. So tomorrow we'll be discussing about display business rules and query business rules, guys. Okay. Any questions from anyone? Any questions from anyone, guys? Everyone. No questions? Okay, guys, then we'll wind up the session and we'll be connecting tomorrow. Thank you, everyone. Thank you all.